Alright guys, so for the final time we find ourselves here in Kiev. I've had an amazing time, but it's time to go to our next destination, my next adventure in Armenia. So I've got like 45 minutes to kill. I'm back in my favorite part of town. This is like the main plaza, the Independence Square. It's just really beautiful. I love the architecture. It looks kind of eerie on a foggy day like today. So yeah, we've got a few more minutes. We'll hop on the metro for the last time, which once again I really liked. That was good fun. We'll get to the train station and then we'll hop on our flight to Yerevan. Alright guys, welcome to Armenia. We've just landed. Our flight from Kiev came without any delay, without anything. It was a comfortable flight. Had a nice chat to this Armenian lady who was next to me. I've heard a lot about the hospitality of the people in this part of the world, and straight away I got the impression that she was willing to invite me for dinner or something like that, so we'll see how we go. I'm kind of tired and it's kind of late. I don't know the time here exactly, to be honest, but I know it's dark and I'm not going to get to see much tonight. So tomorrow we've got a really big day and I'll explain that in 3, 2, 1, boom. So here we are guys, we've made it to Yerevan. I gotta say, I'm already absolutely in love with this place. I only saw it in nighttime last night, and actually right now is my live reaction of me seeing it in the daytime for the first time. The people here are super nice. The prices are ridiculously cheap. The city is clean and modern. I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to my stay here. First things first, I'm gonna find a supermarket, and then I got a bunch of things that I need to do to tick off on my list here. Some monuments. I've got a walking tour in the afternoon. There's a museum dedicated to the Armenian genocide. There is a flea market around here somewhere as well that I want to check out. So without further ado, let's get going and see what's around Yerevan. So this huge monument here behind me, and then this structure here behind me here is it's a memorial for the Armenian Revolution, and also to remember the oppression that these people suffered during many years, during Soviet rule, during the Turkish genocide. And it's a really beautiful monument right on top of the hill here. On a less foggy day you can see all of the city and Mount Ararat. It's really beautiful. We're just walking under a little underpass, kind of like the ones in Kiev, so there's no waiting for traffic lights here, not in a lot of places anyway. We are coming to Victory Park. This park was named something else, I don't remember, to be honest. It was an Armenian name, but it was renamed Victory Park after the war to commemorate the victory of well, the Soviet Union against the Nazis. It's really incredible that a place so far away from Moscow still has remnants of the war. So we're gonna have a little walk inside. It looks really nice. Unfortunately with winter a lot of the trees have lost their leaves and stuff like that. But it's meant to be a nice little lake and I'm super stoked to see the big monument inside. Let's go and have a look. It looks a little bit sad, but I'm sure in the summertime it's beautiful. It's just that we're in peak off-season. Well, I mean, I'm sure they get a little bit of a spike of tourism around Christmas time, but I doubt too many people are itching to come to Armenia in the middle of winter. So this huge statue here, right in front of me, which we're approaching now, is the Mother Armenia statue. And it's the personification of Armenia. And it symbolizes strength. She's holding a big sword, which we'll see in a moment. And it also symbolizes the importance of women in Armenian society. The mothers are very, very, very important in the family. So it's really, really nice. Also, it's put here to remind people of important Armenian women throughout history. It's really, really big and beautiful. Not quite as big as the Motherland statue in Kiev, but very impressive. So we'll go and have a closer look. So that was really interesting. Inside the monument here, inside the statue, there is a war museum. And I was expecting some kind of Soviet war museum. And there is some little relics of that. But for the most part, it's to commemorate and to teach people about the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, which happened between Azerbaijan, which is the reason that these countries are, let's say, not the best of friends these days. Inside there is information on war heroes, pictures, flags, all kinds of really interesting things. And the good thing is, in English as well. There was in Armenian, of course, in Russian, and in English. This conflict, while not necessarily happening so much today, is still the cause of a lot of tension between the countries. And there is a independence movement, and just for that region alone, should I say, how they would like to be their own little country, but basically a little copy of Armenia. Lots of ethnic Armenians in that region. This conflict is actually the reason that I might have problems getting into Azerbaijan. I think I should be okay. I know that if I go to that region and then try to enter Azerbaijan, they will not allow me in. But I'm pretty confident that if I've just come to Yerevan and some little towns around here, there shouldn't be any problem. Really, really interesting place though. Highly recommendable if you do come to Yerevan to come to this monument and museum. And on a nice sunny day, you would see the whole city and Mount Ararat in the distance. But unfortunately, it's just a little bit foggy today. It's not polluted, it's just foggy. An interesting thing to note about this statue is that it was built during the Soviet times, in the 60s. But before this statue, there was a giant statue of Stalin, which they removed, which is something I haven't heard so much about. I mean, I know they pulled down various statues and busts of him because he was a pretty terrible person, but I know lots of his things stayed in place for many, 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 many years. So it's really, really cool that here in Armenia, shortly after his death, they removed the biggest reminder of him in the city and replaced it with something that is very important to them. Cool guys, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that little museum. I didn't expect a museum, I just went up there to see if I could see a view, which I couldn't, and also just to see the statue. Next stop is the Genocide Museum. I'll explain a little bit more about that when I get there, and I guess when I get there I'll learn some more about it too. But I'm really looking forward to that as well. That's going to be pretty important and one of the main things that I wanted to see here in Armenia also.